I never imagined one clumsy moment could stir so much unease. It was a quiet Thursday evening, nothing unusual. My husband had just left for a short business trip, and the house was quieter than usual. His son, Alex, had moved back in a few weeks earlier after finishing college, trying to find his footing again. We were still adjusting. Sharing space. Sharing silence. I was rushing toward the kitchen, distracted and barefoot, when my foot caught the edge of the rug. I stumbled forward, and before I could fall, a pair of strong arms caught me. Alex. I landed awkwardly against his chest, heart racing, half from the stumble, half from the unexpected closeness. His hands steadied me at the waist. We froze. I looked up to say thank you, but the words never came. His eyes met mine, steady and unreadable, like he was trying to understand something he didn't have a name for. I stepped back quickly, mumbling thanks and forcing a laugh. He gave a polite nod, but something lingered in his gaze. I bent to pick up the dish towel I'd dropped, forcing my mind elsewhere. But I could still feel where his hands had been. Warm, gentle, and entirely inappropriate. He was my stepson. That should have been enough to push the moment aside, but it kept replaying in my mind later that night. The accidental closeness. The way I had leaned into him for a second too long. How natural it had felt. I tried to dismiss it. It was nothing. Just adrenaline. A momentary lapse. Still, over dinner that night, the air between us felt different. He was quieter than usual. I caught him watching me more than once, then quickly looking away. And I hated how much I noticed. In bed later, I lay staring at the ceiling, my thoughts running wild. I hadn't pulled away fast enough. I hadn't hated it. That realization haunted me more than anything else. The next morning, I went about things as normally as I could. Coffee, breakfast, laundry. Light conversation. But I felt like I was performing. Pretending. I caught his glances again, subtle but lingering. The tension between us was silent but ever-present. Like a line we hadn't crossed, but kept towing. One afternoon while I was folding laundry in the living room, he appeared in the doorway. I startled slightly. He asked if I needed help. I said no, but he didn't leave. He leaned there, hands in his pockets. "You seem off," he said after a pause. "Everything okay?" I told him I was tired. He didn't press, just nodded slowly, his gaze too steady for comfort. I wanted to escape the moment, to hide from his questions, especially the ones he wasn't asking aloud. I tried to put distance between us. Kept myself busy, made excuses. It helped for a while. We found a rhythm again. Or at least the illusion of one. But the tension never fully faded. It just sat beneath everything waiting. One evening, we both ended up on the couch watching a movie. He sat a little closer than usual. My body stiffened, but I didn't move away. I was too aware of him. Every breath, every shift in the cushions. I glanced at him once and found his eyes already on me. I looked away too fast, muttered something about needing water, and rushed to the kitchen. I stood at the sink gripping the counter, furious with myself for feeling something I shouldn't. For not knowing how to shut it off. He followed. He lingered near the doorway. Silent at first. Then, slowly, I didn't mean to make things weird. I cut in before he could say more. "I'm just tired," I said quickly, forcing a smile. He nodded and left. I stood there longer than I should have, heart pounding. After that, I kept even more distance. Fewer shared spaces. Shorter conversations. I needed space to breathe. But nothing ever really settled. Then one afternoon, while I was organizing books in the living room, I didn't hear him enter. Suddenly, he was there, helping. I meant to tell him I was fine, but the words didn't come. His hand brushed mine as I reached for a book. I pulled back. He didn't. I looked up. He was already watching me. "Why have you been avoiding me?" he asked, voice quiet but clear. I struggled for a response, one that would keep things simple. "Safe." He stepped slightly closer. His fingers brushed my arm. My skin lit up with heat. "I can't stop thinking about that night," he admitted. Not because I wanted it to be something, but because it felt like something. I wanted to deny it. Wanted to shut it down. But instead, I whispered the truth. "I've been thinking about it too." Silence. Charged. Neither of us moved. When he leaned in and kissed me, I froze. His lips were soft, hesitant, unsure. I let it happen for a second. Maybe two. Then I pulled away. Breathless. Flushed. And ashamed. We can't do this, I said. It's not right. He nodded slowly. No argument. Just that same lost look in his eyes that mirrored mine. I muttered something about space and retreated to my room. I sat on the edge of the bed, shaking. Guilt flooding every inch of me. But worst of all, I wasn't sure I wanted it to stop.